today we're going to talk about food, okay? So first I want to start off with a question. When you eat food, do you eat all of it or do you throw some away? What are your thoughts? How much of your food at dinner do you eat or not eat? How much food do you eat? Go ahead. Okay, so you're thinking you eat almost all of it. Okay, good. What about you? Okay, you eat all of it. Well, what if you don't eat all of it? What happens to the food? How many of you throw it away? Okay. How many of you save it for leftovers? Okay. What about food in your fridge? Does it go bad sometimes? Yeah, if you don't eat it on time. Yeah. So, what are some things we could do to fix that or help that? What are some things we can do to not waste food? Yes. Okay, yeah, we could save it for leftovers. I know we talked about that earlier. Some of you do that. Save it for leftovers. Yeah. What about the stuff in the fridge, though? You bought too much. It's going to go bad because you know you're not going to eat it all. What could you do to? What could you do? Yeah, go ahead. Okay. Yes. You could give it to someone. You could donate it. That's a good idea. All right, so we're going to learn today about things that some students did to solve this problem, to help solve this problem. So I want you to be thinking, it's this article that I passed out today. Go ahead and pull it out, called Students Turn Food into Non-Perishable Food, okay? And we're going to read it together, okay? I'll read it out loud. You follow along. And your eyes should be on the word when, right here. Right here. First paragraph under the word Lexile where it has that 1000L. Good. When you toss manky lettuce or moldy berries, think about this. Globally, we waste more than a third of the food we produce. That's according to the Food and Agricultural Organization. To combat that, a group of Swedish graduate students in the Food Innovation and Product Design program at Lund University have come up with a way to use produce, fruits and vegetables, that is about to go to waste. It may help people who have limited access to food. Who has limited access to food? I can think of a few, but what kind of situations do people not get food? Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, if they're too poor and they can't afford that much food. Okay, what's another? All right, so I hand over here. You had a different one? Okay. Yeah, sometimes you can't go to the store because maybe the store's been destroyed by a natural disaster. That's a good answer. So they want to help people who don't have access to food. They're calling it faux pot food powder. It's exactly what it sounds like. Dried, powdered, shelf-stable fruits and vegetables. The powder can be dropped into relief efforts after natural disasters, or it can be distributed in low-resource areas where fresh food and refrigeration are hard to come by. When we found out that 1/3 of the food produced was going to waste while people in the world were starving, we couldn't back out, says Kent Nyo. He is one of the students who developed it. Nyo says they're not producing something revolutionary, which means something crazy and new. No, it's not revolutionary. Powdered food has been around since the early days of astronauts, but they're rethinking the waste and distribution channels. While their development team reached out to farmers and retailers to source fruit, the food scientists experimented with different drying and powdering techniques. They settled on spray drying it. So spray it with the thing that would freeze dry it. Okay, and then it says the process then includes grinding it up. From there, the students looked at ways to distribute it through commercial and government-supported venues. One member of the group is Gerald Perry Marin, who grew up in the Philippines. He'd seen how typhoons and other natural disasters cut people off from their food supply, and how important it was to have food options that were easy to access in a relief scenario. Today, a relief bag for humanitarian disasters contains various foods such as strawberry jam, peanut butter, and peas in tomato sauce. We think that an easily transported pack of cheap, dried food powder with high nutritional value would fit in perfectly, Neo says. The team has been trying to keep its prices down too. That would aid low-budget humanitarian groups and non-governmental organizations. Freeze-dried food retains most of the nutritional benefits of raw food. It loses some vitamin and mineral density in the drying process, but it's still a good way to get fiber and nutrients. The makers of FOPO are currently running a pilot program in Manila. For their first run, they're drying calamansi. It is a citrus fruit. Neo says it tastes like a mix of lime and tangerine. There is a surplus of it, meaning there's lots of it, and it's not available in other places, and it is easy for their Philippine manufacturing program to dry and powder. The group has reportedly gotten support from senators in the Philippines, and they're about to start working with the UN's Initiative on Food Loss and Waste to try to reach more people in countries that could benefit. To broaden their reach, they're also working with commercial distributors and manufacturers that want to use FOPO in their food products, like cake mixes and even ice cream. Consumers can also sprinkle it into food or drinks, or use it in baking. The company has almost 40 international supermarkets on board. I was a bit surprised that the calamansi powder tasted so good, Neo says. I can't wait for the mango and pineapple powder. So, that was the article. I hope you followed along. I was checking. It looked like most of you were doing just fine. So, I wanted to ask, now, what were some reasons? Why did they choose food powder? Why did they choose to turn it into powder? I'll call on a few of you. We're going to take 3 or 4 answers for now, and I'm going to write them up here, okay? So, what's one reason? Yes, go ahead. Okay, won't go bad. Yeah, that was one reason that I think was in there. All right, go ahead. Okay, the powder keeps nutrients. All right. What is another one? Go ahead. All right. Easy to transport. Okay. So easy to transport means that it's easy to take from one place to another. Okay. All right, one more. We'll take one more. Let's see. Go ahead. Okay. Yeah, we'll put that down. Can send anywhere. Okay. So these are 4 good reasons. Now, I'm going to have you split into partners. Go ahead and split with the person you're next to. Yep, partners. Okay, perfect. Now I want you to find in the article where these reasons are given. You're trying to be detectives looking for clues. You guys have done this before, you know what I'm asking. But I want you to go through, read it again, and find where it says that these are the reasons the students chose food powder. I want you to find those, and when you have them, go ahead and highlight it and put a note next to it saying which reason it is. All right? So go ahead. All right, let's go ahead and bring that back together. And so now what we're going to do is, let's go ahead and talk about it. Won't go bad. Where did you find that one? Yeah, go ahead. Okay, yeah, in that third paragraph, right there. Hold on. Boop. Yeah, right there. Dried, powdered, shelf-stable fruits and vegetables, just like you said. So, number 3. Paragraph 3. Okay, who found the second one? That second one keeps most nutrients. You found it in, yeah, go ahead. Paragraph 8. Paragraph 8. Yeah, it says freeze-dried food retains most of the nutritional benefits of raw food. Okay, paragraph 8. Done. All right. Next one. Next one was easy to transport. Where did we find that one? Yeah, paragraph 7. So in paragraph 7, it says easily transported pack of cheap dried food powder. Yeah, it was easy to transport. So can send almost anywhere. Did any of you struggle with this one? Yeah, I imagine that some of you did. And the reason is because there's nowhere that says, bam, that is exactly what they're saying. You kind of had to do a little bit of stretching to find this one. So, what did you find? And where did you find it? Go ahead. Paragraph 6, you said. Okay? Food options that were easy to access in early scenarios. So if they were easy to access, that's a good point. If they're easy to access, that means that they're easy to find and that they could be anywhere. That's a good idea. Okay, so these were some examples of finding evidence in the text. Now, I want you to do exactly what we did with these 4, except I'm going to give you 4 more. I'm going to slide this board over. Okay? Here are the 4, and I have to find 4 that I found that you didn't already list. So, they wanted to use food instead of wasting it. Okay? All right? It's easy to use. The powder is easy to use. Doesn't need to be refrigerated. A lot of fruits need to be in the refrigerator in order to stay fresh. So this one doesn't need to do that. Okay, we're going to end with those 3, and I want you to, I have a graphic organizer, and I want you to go ahead and take this, and in the left side, you're going to write the reason, just like I have it on the board. On the right side, you're going to put the quote that's in the text. You're going to write the quote there. So, for example, when we said wouldn't go bad, you would write the word shelf stable. Okay? But in these last 3, we're going to go ahead and do those reasons, and I want you to find the evidence in the text. I'll go ahead and pass this out now. Whenever you get something, you go ahead and put your name on it. Good. And this time, I want you to go ahead and work on your own at first. All right? And once you're finished, you can turn with a partner and go over it and help those around you if they have questions. But for now, for the first few minutes, I want you to work on your own. Try to find it. Read through it. Okay? All right, now you can start talking with your tables. What did you find? What did you think? Okay, go ahead. All right, I want you to put them in a nice little pile on my table. Go ahead. And as you're going back to your seats, let's see. I would like to ask a question. Do you think that Faux-Po food powder was a good idea? Go ahead and vote. You can vote. And 3, 2, 1, show me. Interesting. Why did you think it was a good thing? Why did you think it was a good thing? Okay. All right, yeah, some of the reasons we have up here. It wouldn't go bad. It was easy to transport and really could help people. Okay. I saw a couple of thumbs down. Why was it not a good reason? I'm very curious. Go ahead. Okay. Yeah. Because maybe it's difficult to make and maybe they can't always produce it cheaply. I see. So you would like it if they found a way to make it more cheaply made, but still do everything else. Huh. All right. Well, this concludes the lesson. And I have your work, so go ahead and get your things together. Go ahead and pack up. It's time to get ready to go.